Hey, Don here. Okay, back again, working on Mom's PC upgrades. Got the Mom's 10-inch tablet back there for a extra camera to point at the monitor, so I want to move that one over there around so much. And so I was getting ready to put that Ethernet card in there right next to that video card. You can see the new fan there on the video card. Sorry, allergies have been killing me. I guess I say that all the time. They're extra worse the last 3 days. And it's the kind of weather where having the window open is good if you shut it. It's not hot enough for the air conditioner to run enough for me in here, you know. So, but anyway, I was getting ready to do that, and then somebody came in and said, "Oh, their Wi-Fi wasn't working," and so I rebooted the routers and the modem and everything. And I just went ahead and rebooted my phone since it had already been streaming over an hour, so I rebooted everything, my computers, my phones, and just to make sure all that was going to be good when I started back up again. And let's go to the desktop now. Let's see. Well, let me make sure. Go to the desktop first. I'm going to look at some of this. Let's check this over here first. I want to make sure that I want to check into the BIOS updates is what I want to check into. Let's see. And here's my links that I have for the motherboard. Yeah, there we go. Thing is, I already looked in the BIOS the other day, yesterday, and I couldn't find the date of the BIOS in there. I'm not quite sure. I know there's a place for it, but there's a specification, support. I guess you go to support. Let's see, CPU support list, BIOS. There we go. Okay, please read information below before downloading or updating your BIOS. We don't recommend users to update the BIOS unless their system already running. If the system is already running normally, ASRock assumes no responsibility for any damages caused by improper operations of downloading and updating the BIOS. Wow, they're making sure. So if you update your BIOS and it breaks, too bad. How I update below. Okay. Yeah, they advertise this easy to use flash BIOS, InstaFlash BIOS updater. You don't have to put it on a floppy, which I don't have a floppy on this machine. I think you can just put it on your hard drive or wherever, or on a USB stick, if I remember right. Let's where is it? Oh, improve AM3 boot time. Okay. Well, let's see. Where are the yeah, the newest one is 2015. Improved Windows 8 compatibility. Okay, modified share memory. CPU code. Oh, that would be. I suppose that the newer one's going to have all that in it. Update CPU code. That might be helpful for me since I've got the new 8-core 8300 AMD processor that is not actually in the supported list. It is working just fine, but I don't have see, there's nothing there. That's what I wanted to see. Is there anything that says fix a problem with Ethernet not working? That's not a well-known enough issue that it's like part of the title there. What's this? Well, that's 2012. Okay. Beta BIOS. Well, we don't need any beta anything. Improved boot time, but that was just really old. 2012 5.4. That's well, it's newer than that one. Kind of in between there. They made it beta, but they never did. I guess they never did finish it. I guess if it's still listed as beta down there. Where are those instructions? There's no instructions below. That's weird. Okay, global, Europe, China. So I guess we're global. Okay, let's go there. let's go ahead and I want to do a control click and see what that says. Oh, okay, here you go. I'm going to put this in my ASRock links because I don't have that bookmarked. Yeah, before I go ahead and put that other net card in there, I wanted to get some idea about where to go. I mean, all that'll do is just get me to be able to do remote desktop into the machine. It won't fix my problem. So, and my machine can barely handle just doing this. Quad core, 4 gig RAM. But that's just, it's really strange. I've always had, whenever I start getting a lot of bookmarks, and I do have a lot, it does that in Firefox. Oh, it has for years. There we go. Drives me crazy. It didn't used to years ago. Well, they started making everything better and better. The one thing I used to like is, see, I'll tell you what causes it, I'm pretty sure, is it tries to figure out where to put it for you. And I organize it myself. I put it in folders, you know. It tries to find the right folder to put it in. Once in a while, it actually does bring up the right folder. But all it does is just hang up like that. With me, I know where I want to put it, you know. I don't need the machine to tell me. Used to, you could, it was really, really fast. You could just open, you know, let that say right-click, say, you know, I mean, whatever, however I do it. Click on here. Used to, I used to right-click and say bookmark, whatever. Anyway, if you click, I'm not going to do it now, but if I hit bookmark and then I could just start typing, you know, the name of the folder I wanted it in, and it would go straight to it, just so fast. Now it's all that, every time, every single time. Unless you have, like, not very many bookmarks. Then it's pretty fast. Okay, how to execute ASRock InstaFlash. There are 2 methods for updating. I am in I'm in the desktop mode. Okay. Save the BIOS files on a device such as a USB stick. It has to be FAT32 formatted, or a hard disk that's FAT32. Oh, so you can't just put it on your regular hard drive. Unless you got Windows 95 and you're running FAT32. Or Windows 3.1. Actually, it might be FAT16 normally. Not sure. Yeah, it would be. Press F2 during post to get the BIOS, and then I know where to go in there. Under the Smart menu. Anyway, there it is. I've come across it over and over again while I was looking through BIOS lately on this machine. I can't really. Okay. So click on that, and then yeah, you can't make those any bigger. I mean, I can make them somewhat bigger. Let's do that. I want to be able to see that. There we go. Control plus, Control minus. That'll zoom in and zoom out on your in Firefox, most browsers. So okay. Automate tech devices. Only list those which are suitable for your motherboard. Oh, okay. Okay. Select the suitable BIOS version and flash. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was method 1. Okay. Okay, now method 2. Save the files on the USB again. Hard disk and floppy drive. Okay, well I can't do a floppy drive. It says press F6. I tried to do this once on this board, and I think I never got it to work. I think I don't remember. I've done it on a few other, I don't do it unless I need to, because it usually doesn't really make any difference, and you have such a risk of breaking your motherboard. It's kind of like, you know, installing new firmware on your router. It's not all that. This is less complicated than a router, but to get the right file, it's easier. But it can be easy, but it can also go wrong and ruin it, you know. Okay, and then Suitable. See, the main thing is the flash memory writer utility cannot be suitable for all ASRock's motherboards. Please use the flash utility which is included in each BIOS file to up. Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Well, how do you keep... I was just thinking I would want to back up my original BIOS before I started, but it doesn't tell you how to do that. But it says maybe it does it for you. Maybe it keeps it. It will need service. I remember one time years ago I looked into BIOS. I always thought, well, if you could update the BIOS in machines, you could get more, make them take more memory. Actually, this was back when I had Windows 98 first edition, right in those days. Maybe XP was out by then. But I actually contacted a company that said, they would update it beyond what the normal manufacturers put out. I don't know if I ever found it. I can't remember. They were real expensive. It wasn't worth it. It cost the price of a new motherboard or more. So I was like, well, that's stupid. But I always thought that. And actually, there is one called, I don't remember. It was originally called Linux BIOS. They came out. Well, they've been doing that for years, but it really became kind of, they worked real hard on it when what do they call it? EFCI, whatever BIOS, the one that Microsoft was all behind, that was going to make Linux distros not work. Couldn't install them, or they couldn't boot. Yeah, you could install them on your hard drive, but the machine wouldn't boot them. In Fedora, for instance, went ahead and paid Microsoft for I don't know how much money for keys for all the keys to be able to do it, and some of the other distros. I don't remember. For a while there, it was a big deal for about 2 years. I don't know what all the other distros. Fedora's my favorite distro, and so I never had a problem with it. And I don't see a lot of talk about it anymore. I think the manufacturers went ahead and I guess what happens. The thing was is some manufacturers were not going to have a way to get around it, not use it. But I guess all the motherboard manufacturers, or at least most of them, decided, not all of them, but most of them decided to go ahead and give you an option. Just say, no, I don't want to use that. EUFI, I think it's called BIOS. I want to use the normal kind. And then you can use whatever operating system that you want. So anyway, yeah, I didn't see. So if I do that, I'll have to pay real close attention. I'm not going to use a floppy, though. I would use... I have my little, well, it's kind of been acting weird, my SD card. I don't know if it would be wise to try to use it because it seems like it's maybe fragmented and I need to make files contiguous or defrag on it or something. There's an app called Make Files Contiguous that came with the easy to boot thing that it tells you to run. But I think what I'll do, I might actually need that page. Go back to that. I'm going to save that page, the actual page. Just get rid of the spaces. Sometimes that causes trouble. I have a gnat on my screen and it's crawling around exactly where I'm trying to work. It drives me crazy. I guess it's a gnat. It's awfully tiny, but it's okay. Now, the newest one, okay, that was the InstaFlash instructions. Okay, now this is the only one. I don't want China, I don't want Europe, I want global. Oh, there, and it's just going to download it. Okay, so that was all there was to that. So, I think I'll just leave them in my downloads folder for now. There they are. That's the only thing in there right now. Well, let's go ahead and make a folder for that. really don't want it. Well, the ones that were Windows executables, you know, there's some of them that you could not rename, make directory. There were some of them that were Windows executables, and you could run them from Windows. If you accidentally double click on one of those, guess what? You could sit there and update your BIOS to the wrong BIOS and flash your BIOS on the wrong machine, you know. So I've always learned to be pretty careful. Let's see what it's just it's a 40.40 extension, but that's all there is to it. Just the one file. It doesn't have a Windows executable in it or anything. That was one problem I had with some of them, is you had to do it that way. They got to where they were just making the Windows executables. So let's see. Okay, I have one thing in there that says ASRock Ethernet. Oh, I should have stayed there. I wanted to see. Let's see, Ethernet not working. That would be the best thing I wanted to search on their site instead of just see if there's. Sorry, no data. Okay, well, that was quick. So Google's probably going to be my best way to find out. And I did a little looking. But I didn't go real far into it. It doesn't even have Ethernet in it. Maybe I should say network. Well, let's don't do a bunch of more searches right now. Let me see. Trying to think. That's that one time when I first started today, after I turned that speaker around. Okay, let me get over there on that machine and look. I got to refresh my memory as to what I've done with all that sidetrack that I had. It's got me confused. So just leave it like that for right now, and switch to the wireless. Echo. No echo. Okay, now, before I take off, it might be, in the case of this 8300 processor, I really do want to upgrade the BIOS. Okay, we're good now, but I'm going to shove this around where I can still see it, but it won't be in my way so much. Now, I already knocked out a spot to put the, oh, I'm not using that right now. Just move it out of there. I keep thinking it's being used. Anyway, that's where I knocked out one of the knockouts so that I could, I wanted to put it down there so it wouldn't be too, I want plenty of room for airflow for that video card. And I have the, it's a Realtek Ethernet adapter that I was going to put in there, and then I thought, well, not so fast. Okay, so it's still yellow. And what's crazy, well, now there's no light at all. Now it's yellow. Okay, so there's something wrong. I thought I'm going to do it. I'm going to unplug the one that's working off my laptop. Plug it in here.
and see if it's yellow too. Yep, instantly. Oh, it turned green for a second while I was unplugging it. And it's just the light's acting weird when you unplug it. It's just kind of going green for a second. Let me put this back in the laptop, because that's how I preview my stream. Oh, great. Now the cable's going out everywhere where I don't want it to go. Okay, now, well, you can tell right away that it's, you know, not working. The only thing I have plugged in, let's see, the audio. I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. Okay, I just had it plugged in so I could test it. Okay, I'm gonna unplug the power cable because it's usually safer to do that when you're messing around in there, plugging in stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put this in there. I don't. Well, that's flopping around so much, I guess I'll put a screw in it. I've tried to keep track of what screws came out of what machine, and I really don't know anymore here. I do remember that I want to, well, it probably doesn't matter in this case. I tried to use those ones that have some good grab to them, and they didn't work on that video card, so I'll just get one. I've got, the reason I'm keeping them in the only reason I'm really keeping these in these bottles, I keep them in there while I'm working on the machine so I can just easily put them back in the same groups and types and, you know, sizes of screw heads and all that. Make sure that it's lined up. That's the one thing you got to do, is make sure that you can actually get to the connector and plug things in when you put something in there, especially on this one. Okay, I got it in there. And it flopped around so much, I thought about not even putting a screw in it, but it wasn't going to stay to where I could plug something in and take it out. All right, now let's see. No lights, wait, no lights at all right now. I guess these won't come on until the machine's, I don't have no power to the machine. Now, no, those don't come on. Some do, some don't. Well, they may later after it's been like booted up the first time. But now we'll see. For one thing for sure, we'll find out if, you know, make sure that everything's working with the router and the cable and all that. I'm sure the cable's fine, but we'll see. Okay, now let me get over here. Well, I can't reach it. Oh, I need to switch. Okay, now I want to be on the. I want to show the monitor anyway, so that way when it boots up, I'll be able to show it. And I'll wait. Okay, I'll switch mics too because I don't know how long I'll be over.
Hello, check. That's a habit, saying that. Okay. Okay, I'm already over here where I want to be. Now let me plug in. Turn on the machine. Okay. Oh, I forgot to switch. That's what I forgot. I gotta switch the KVM switch. Otherwise, I'm gonna start hitting the up arrow on the keyboard because, what did it do? Oh, I think it didn't. It didn't see the USB, and it went ahead and booted to the up. No, it did see it. But the keyboard seems like it's not responding. Oh, great. I didn't get connection. I don't have a keyboard, and it's fixing to do that check on the thing. Try it again. Oh, man. Come on. Turn it off. Get my keyboards. I'll have to go put it on mine. Make sure it connects and works. And, oh yeah, I was checking my... Okay. I had my preview playing, but I didn't have it. Yeah, okay, now. My USB is getting more and more finicky. I mean, my KVM... The USB and the KVM, I guess I would say, is getting more and more finicky about not working. Okay, now it's... Now it should be okay this time. There we go. Well, I mean, there it comes. Booting up. Let's see if my keyboard's going to work. Yeah, now it works. See, its default is to check your medium to see if that it's good, your boot medium. Luckily, it does give you plenty of time there. I guess it's about a minute or more. I almost got it all straightened out in time, but not quite. So now on this live system, I don't see any, and that pop is the speaker does that. You know, I always thought it was Mom's PC speakers that were bad doing that, but it does it on no matter what you got it plugged into. That's the sound card on that thing doing that. But you know what? I think it did it on her BIOS motherboard too. But that cable there is the one I use on my laptop or whatever else I want to use. I don't leave it plugged into anything because I've got as many as I can have plugged in without degrading my volume. I don't have a mixer for all my computers. I have this little mixer, but I don't have my computers going through it. I have it going through a patch bay up there on my rack, but it's not powered in any way. It's just this patch bay. I still don't have Ethernet. How is that possible? Maybe it really is something to do with like BIOS. Well, see, the BIOS doesn't control this Ethernet card here, as far as an extra Ethernet card, as far as I know. You can get over there and get a look at it. I guess I should have stayed on my wireless mic. But no Ethernet. Whoops. It says NVIDIA Ethernet. Realtek Ethernet. Oh! So I'm going to probably have to tell it to connect to the Realtek. That's right. When you got two cards, so that's an NVIDIA that's on the, so it sees it. I looked into those settings yesterday and I wasn't able to get it working. Edit connections. I went in there, so that would be the onboard, I guess. Wake on LAN default. Huh. Link negotiation ignore, but that may be because there's two cards in there that it's even automatic. proxy. Link negotiation. Huh. Oh, that's connection 2. Okay, now this one. Oh, this is the. I remember this. All this data bridging and all that stuff. That's on the first one. That, I mean, it has that capability, evidently. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the link. Oh, I'm gonna do automatic on link negotiation. Yeah. Usually, if your network's not working and you know and you unplug a cable and plug it back in or whatever, do anything, you can disconnect, turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll work. Still not working. Well, I didn't see any lights on when I plugged it in. I'm gonna go look. Okay, so there's no lights on it. So I'm actually wondering if this is actually something wrong with this network card. I had it in a plastic bag with a sticky note, and it said works on the what was that link negotiation thing? Works on the IBM. But I do remember having trouble with some of them. I think when I hit that link, oh, there it is right there, link negotiation. I'm going to put it back on ignore because I don't want it. It gets really confusing when you have that, where's that? Bridging and all that stuff, bridging connections. I didn't ever click on that. Use data center bridge for this connection. Guess I should have. I didn't think I needed any bridging because I only have one Ethernet card in. But this one. What I'm going to do is shut it down, take this one out, and get that other Ethernet card out and see if it acts like it wants to work. Gosh. Oh, this is. I'm used to having my shutdown button up there on my toolbar, but I don't have it because that's live. It wouldn't do any good to put it up there. I started to put it up there. Okay, now that shut down like it's supposed to. Okay. I'm gonna get back on the wireless mic so I can move around. I guess I should stay on it until I'm done running around in circles here. Okay. Camera 2. All right. Now, back on the wireless. Okay. Yeah, and every time I do that, I always feel really worried if I don't check my stream. So I'll get it replay. Well, let me just check it. My mouse is over here. Well, it is wireless, but don't have a place to set it down over there necessarily. All right, now. All right, let me get that one out. Is what I'm going to do. First, I'll get me that Kingston. I showed it in the previous video. I know it works. This one right here. So I'll just leave everything as it is there. Okay, let's see. Unplug again, I guess. And
You don't actually have to take the screw all the way. I think I've got plenty of room to, well, no, you can't pull that card out with that screw in there. Not without really bending it over. Oh, I guess we should take the cable off of it. Yeah, the only thing it says, it just says that it works. Oh, well, it didn't work in there, I know that much. But I do remember that some of the ones that worked for years quit working on me. So, bang it into the camera. It's right there where my head hits it, but if it's any, that's exactly the right height. It's as high as I can get it on that mic stand anyway, but it's exactly the right height. Any lower would be too low to see the whole machine when you're working on one, and any higher would be too far away. So, I just gotta deal with banging my head, I guess. Used to like banging my head at concerts, but I think that would probably give me a headache and give me a real bad neck ache too. I used to do that. This one has 4 lights. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world though, the first time I saw the kids doing that. When I was working concerts and they started banging their head. I said, well, let's see what that's like. Next thing I realized, oh, that really is. It just seems natural to do that with some really nice, heavy music. So anyway, all right. Now let's see what happens when we. Now I dropped my cable. Dang it! When you drop that stuff right here, it goes to where it's hard to get to. Okay, now. Where is it? Oh. But today, when I first started, the light was green on the, well, that's not on. The light was green on the Ethernet. I could plug a cable into both of them. Okay, now it's not on at all on that one either. Well, I'm not going to plug a cable into both of them because then I won't know which one's working and which one ain't. Let's just see what happens. You know, these are those faster. Maybe I've got it in the wrong. Just thought of that. There may only be one regular PCI slot on here, and the other one may be too fast. It may not be backwards compatible. Can't see any labels on them. It fits perfectly, no problems whatsoever. They usually have the speed written out beside them. CL. At the end of them or beside them or somewhere. I would think that it would be backwards compatible. Well, I don't know. If the pins are the same, you would think it would work. I mean, it doesn't. Usually they have something to stop you from plugging in things that won't, you know, that they're not compatible with. They have that dummy, called dummy pin. I guess dummy pin. It's not a pin. It's that cross there. But all right, let's turn it on again. Surely, I really am surprised that, of course, it could be that other card, but if this one doesn't work, then I guess it's back to the Google, back to the drawing board, something. I mean, I can just go ahead and update the BIOS and see. That was the advice that people gave on the forums, everywhere. Of course, that's kind of what they always say. Anytime you read anything about hardware, first thing the people on the forum say is update the BIOS. But
like I said, I've been playing with these desktops since '98, and I've only needed to update BIOS about twice. How come I'm not seeing anything? I guess it's just not up yet. I've got the switch. Yeah, there we go. I got the switch in the right place. I could disable the onboard Ethernet in the BIOS. I may do that. If this one doesn't work, I may do that. Oh, it's got green lights on now. The other one never did get any lights on, so it actually could be bad. Let's see if they go out or something while it's booting up. I'll watch the lights. That card could be bad. It might have got old and died, or you might have got, you know, some bad weather could have ruined it. So far, the lights, it was 2 green lights, now it's 1. But that'd be normal. Usually they'll blink whenever you got Ethernet. Oh yeah, let's see. No, it's too late for that. I was gonna say I could watch and see. Yeah, now they're blinking. I bet you anything that's got Ethernet. Guess I should grab the. Oh, all right. Well, that's. Well, let's wait and see. Yeah, I think we have Ethernet. Okay. Well, let's look at that first. But I think that other card may have trouble. Let's look at the connection information. I don't know. That's the first one I started to use, and then it changed my mind. Well, I mean, at least I found out about the other one. Driver Tulip. But it's got IP address and everything. Okay, so that works. So, I mean, I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't want to have to do that, but I can. So, that will work. All right. Let's get on Firefox right quick and make sure everything's good. I was reloading my preview while that was loading, and then I got confused. I was like, well, why won't the mouse work? Take Firefox with you. Firefox Portable, I guess. Okay, so the internet's working. So I am going to need to decide whether I want to upgrade the BIOS or not. But first I got to figure out how to if that I mean, for all, I don't think I don't know for sure. I could have updated the BIOS already, or I tried and it didn't work. I remember trying one machine and never got it to work. You know what? That was a BIOS store motherboard. That's right. I do remember that now. But the thing is I've got RAM in my head. I got random access memory. It just works sometimes. But the thing is so and then it gets flooded. When I go to sleep and wake up, it gets all the cache gets cleared. So I don't know what I did yesterday. All right. Sometimes it comes back to me in bits and bytes and pieces. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to see that it worked. So, I mean, now I can. There's not any remote desktop on here, but I could just go and I can go in here and say DNF install KRFB, and that's all I should need to. Now, when you're in live Fedora, if you just type SU, you get root privilege. You were saying I needed root privileges. Ah, the memory's not there. I was trying to use the keyboard. Let's see. But you can install stuff in the live system. I probably could have used the graphic interface, but that's pretty simple right there. So you just DNF where's the command I just typed? DNF space install space KRFB. That's the KDE remote desktop app, and it'll turn the server on. It'll automatically install the light version of Tiger VNC, and it'll turn it on and off. You can use the GUI to turn it on and off. And that's all you need then to get some remote desktop going. Finally figured all that out recently. I thought that you had to install a server and then install KRFB, but you don't have to do that. So then I'll just let this run and show whatever I want to do on it. Right, actually the main thing, one of the main things I'm wanting to do is run some hardware tests. But first that's what I wanted to do, but now I want to figure out what's wrong with the Ethernet here. So I guess it's going to take some research. I mean, it might be as simple as just updating BIOS. And from what I've read before, it is what, like I said, the people on the forum say. But I don't trust forum people because there's so many talking heads on there just blabbering, you know, saying, oh, I know this, I know that. I generally stick to documentation, you know, like of whatever, you know, Fedora or Debian or whatever it is I'm doing. But then again, when it's hardware, you know, these hardware sites, they don't give you a lot of information. They just want to sell it to you and tell you it's wonderful. They don't usually tell you a whole lot about fixing problems. They usually have forums, but then again, it's a forum, you know. So, and well, you saw, I did a search on there. I got absolutely nothing, not one return on, you know, Ethernet problems. So, but anyway, let this install, and it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. It is a 100 megabit card, but it doesn't seem like it's working very fast. Well, you know, everything I've done, every install I have done lately on Fedora 27 or with DNF, it's been seeming pretty slow. I mean, we're watching kilobytes count down. I mean, you can download a gigabyte faster than this, just in Firefox when you're downloading something. So, I don't know. I don't get that. And it's just downloading it right now. It's not installing. Oh, wait. Is it doing updates? Oh. I think it went ahead and automatically did the updates because it says updates, 18%. But I'm watching the kilobytes tick by. 70, well, I can't say it, but actually it's going back and forth. Well, it's up to 12 megabytes now. The thing that I want to install is 2.2 megabytes, and then 2.2 of 23 megabytes. Okay, that makes sense. So we're at 12 megabytes. There we go. But it does say updates, so just when you install something in the command line, I didn't think it automatically installed updates. Now I can't remember. Well, if it updates this, it'll be a lot of updates. It'd be like 700 megabytes of updates going this live system from it to. I know the first update I did was somewhere around that. Usually is on a new install. $15 megabyte. Yeah, it's just going really slow. But it's getting there. I was going to say, well, I'll just go over there and do something else on the, you know, get on my machine and do something while that's working. But I can't see what's going on though, so I'll tell them how long it would be before it was done and I didn't know it. Good time to check my stream, I guess. And my stream, I clicked reload on my stream, but it didn't, I don't know if it reloaded. But it shows to be a good stream. Try one more time. Maybe I missed the click. I missed my spot when I clicked. I've got the laptop turned kind of where I'm looking at it from an angle. Big. Oh, it is reloading. I forgot to switch to the camera. I'm showing you the computer inside of the box. Sorry. I forgot to do that. Now you should be able to see what I'm talking about. I mean, not that you could read it or anything, but I try to stay on a camera pointing at what I'm talking about, you know, even if it's not a real good. I don't have real cameras. I've got phone cameras, so, you know, they can only do so good, but now if I go back to the machine I'm working on, now you'll see it. Okay. Well, glad I checked that. It still ain't done. Now you'll see it. Huh. I paused that and it paused and unpaused itself, I think. Okay. Where am I? I paused that and then paused and unpaused. You know what? It says updates 45%. I'm still not convinced it's not doing a full system update before it's going to install that for me. Because that's what it's showing. Okay, it's hard to tell. I guess if I would, I usually like, you know, the window to be bigger, but okay, now I might be able to tell better what's going with what. Okay, 48%. Where'd the updates? Oh, updates is up there now. Well, now that didn't help. That made it look weird and really out of place. It looks like when it's in the way I started out. I think sometimes when you change the size of the window after you've already data's already went through, it doesn't ever line back up right. It looks to me like updates 50%, and still don't understand all that though, because that's already at 30 megabyte, and that's more than the 23 megabytes for the KRFB that it's showing up there. So. Didn't think it would take a long time. Well, I'm just gonna get back on my machine and I want to see if there's anything that I can find about how to. I'll go back and check on it in a little bit. No point in watching the grass grow over there. Let's see. I'm going to get on my web browser, go back to, I need to figure out what it is you exactly have to do to find the BIOS version. Okay, let's look on this. That's not it. This. Oh, DOS will be the one you have to use it on floppy, I think. Yeah, there's nothing in about version. There we go. It just tells you to pay attention to the the version, but it doesn't show you where the version is in there. Is that it? No, that's the. I've seen that something like that, if not that before. That's the flash when you do it with a floppy. What pops up? Okay, so. Surely. BIOS version. Sorry, no data. What's the worst search I've ever seen on the... Get back in my shortcuts. I've already found a lot of stuff on these things, so it's usually a good idea to check my links. That's something I saved for a warning for myself. I don't know what that was all about though. But it tried to open something up. Tried to open up Firefox. But anyway, something. I don't know. Not in a very good comprehending way today. Okay. Huh. What all have I got on the BIOS? Not ASRock BIOS. Let's see what I got there. That's just this one I just saved today. Okay, so I don't have much on that. But this is my motherboard. So let's try this. See if I can find, surely I can find something. Yeah, there's downloads. Let's see. Dead after BIOS upgrade. Okay. So, well, let's hope we don't get there. Yeah, see, can't even hardly save a... Alright, let's go to images maybe. I just want to see... Ah. Might have been on the first page and I just didn't see it in there. Let's see, this is... Oh. Load BIOS defaults. No. I guess I just need to go back. Oh, I see it. V02.67C. I don't know what they had circled there, but I don't know. Just looking at something in a different light helps me see things. Yeah, American Megatrends. So I just need to get back in my BIOS and see what that is. See what it says. OC disabled. Of course, I just typed in, what did I type in? Yeah, I typed in this actual motherboard. So there we go. Now I know where to find the BIOS version number. There's a bunch of videos on this motherboard, but yummy. That's one thing something I use. You know what? The way the YouTube does their links, you can't even tell whose video it is anymore, can you? I was sitting there wondering, I wonder if any of those are my videos, because I've done a bunch of videos on this thing. That one could be mine. That one could be, heck, all three of those could, well, that one, and that one looks like something I would have done. That's not me. You can see that right there. Okay, well, I don't want to sit and watch somebody else's video. I'm making a video. All right. Well, I've figured out that's probably not a good idea to show other people's videos in my live video, because YouTube would probably squawk it. go ahead and move to, you know, they might blackball my video. So let's go back to over there. Maybe it's finished. But I'll find out my BIOS version and see. I think the one that they have there, well, no, the website should tell me what version I'd be getting. Yeah, it's done. Whoa, look at that. Installing KRFB. Surely all that didn't come with KRFB, did it? Maybe it did. 64 megabytes. Well, why did it take so long? I guess it did. But why did it take so long to just do that little bit? Because I know that that's... now, there is one thing. Okay, there's one thing that it could be. No. I have it plugged into the D-Link. It's fast. It's a gigabit router. I was going to say... but this is a 100 megabit Ethernet card, but it should be way faster than that. I was going to say my other routers, I haven't rebooted them in a while, and they sometimes do get slow after time. Even the wired connections. Wired is much more dependable than the Wi-Fi, but I have turned off the Wi-Fi on everything but the D-Link. I finally figured out with them so close together in here, they just fight each other and slow down. Everything slows down. And it cuts down the range by a lot. You can't even, like, you go into the living room and you can't hardly get a signal with them, with two or three of them running. So, only thing I was doing was just, and it's just in a live system too, so it's kind of silly. I bet you the Ethernet will work, and well, with this different card, it should. Wouldn't be any driver problems, you know. But it's not a driver problem. Unless Fedora 27 actually does not have a driver in it for that Ethernet card. I wouldn't know because I've never put Fedora 27 on this motherboard before. It's possible. It's not a Realtek, it's an NVIDIA. You know, Realtek's kind of the most common one used on everything. But, you know, it could be possible that, I guess I could look and see if there is, what did I say it was? NVIDIA. Yeah, see if there's like no NVIDIA driver installed. Well, I'd rather do it. I don't want to do a bunch of this work in the live system because it'll be gone once I reboot. But, well, and I don't really need to do it on, I think I might have just got something in my finger. Either that or it's cut. Oh, it's cut. Well, I thought I cut it earlier today and I couldn't find the cut. Now the skin has got all dry where it was cut and it's opened up and now it's hanging on stuff. So I need to get my clippers and cut that off. I usually have dry skin that's hanging off, splits in my fingers from dry skin. But this time I remember doing, I forgot what I did, but ow, getting too much skin. I need some magnification there. I need my endoscope. I've used it for stuff like that before. Okay, now it's finished, but I gotta operate here. Just be a second. Ow. It's pretty sore. Yeah. I didn't even put nothing on it to stop it from getting infected because I didn't know I cut it. I don't remember what I cut it on. Oh, dropped it. Okay. Now I should be able to open up KRFB and do a remote desktop anyway. Alright, I guess I'll close the command line. Now then. There it is, KRFB. No, I don't want to do the wallet. Okay. Enable unattended access. Now this is going to be on 0.120. Okay. Desktop. 120. What do you mean no route to host? One on 2.168.0.120. Oh, I didn't open up the firewall. Yep, 0.120. Firewall. DNC server. Okay, I think that should be it. Alright, now, hopefully that's all I gotta do. I just clicked on the VNC server in there. Sometimes I had, some of these different versions of the firewall in Fedora, you have to actually go in there and put the ports in. Now that worked. Yay, finally. Well, it was slow, but it worked well. Okay. Forgot how you do full. Oh, you can't do full screen in this one. This is that Tiger VNC. Because I could use the other one that I like, but it also lags sometimes. I may have to. I just can't really work in there unless it. If it this is fast enough, it should work. This is the one I really like. We don't want SSH, we want VNC. When did it go to SSH? 120 has been connected to before. There, now I can do full screen or whatever I want. Let's see. First I'll do fit the remote screen. That way if I don't want to do full screen, I can do that. Okay, now. That's desktop. I was wanting to look at the connection information. Okay. I was kind of thinking about the drivers, wasn't I? Edit connections. Okay, connection 2, I think, is the one I'm using right now. Okay. 2 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. Well, I guess the one that says 2 minutes is the one that I'm on. Should be right now. But yeah, the link negotiation is ignored, so, and it's working. Okay, let's see what happens if we, let's go to the, whatever kind of app. Yeah, DNF Dragora. Let's see if it would show me. A bit slow to come in, but it works. Okay. Oh, names, descriptions, summaries. I'm not sure which would be better, descriptions or summaries, because I don't know which section. You would think summary would be the most information. Let's see. Let's do this. NVDA. Oh, I think I just spelled it wrong. Ethernet's not EI, is it? It's ETH, I think. There. Search. You can't hit enter, you have to click search. Let's just say NVIDIA, then we'll get everything NVIDIA. You get all the video cards. Still not getting anything. Maybe descriptions is better. Not getting anything. And names, we'll try that. I think I typed it right. Ethernet. I've forgotten how to spell Ethernet. I always do that. I don't understand. Oh, it's in 2 updates, darn you. I want all. Let's try that now. Oh no, it's probably loading like everything that's available or whatever. There it is, yeah. Okay. There. Ethernet. Each tool. Wireless tool. A lot of it's already there. Let's try NVIDIA now. I hit enter every time because that's how I work. GPU, which is what I would expect. You know, it's pretty common. One of the very most common, you know, GPUs, video drivers. So, oh, I already tried Ethernet. Try NVIDIA network, see what that comes up with. Nothing. Let's try descriptions. It's just ridiculous that you can't tell it to search all of those fields at once. I mean, it's just stupid. Okay, so I can't really get anywhere here in this. NVIDIA. Oh, now I got a lot more. I'm in descriptions. I got a whole lot more. Okay. Let's say, try Ethernet again. Nothing. Network. Network. Nothing. Okay, we'll try NVIDIA again. What I'm wondering, you know, let's see if there's anything installed. Okay, there's absolutely nothing installed for NVIDIA. I've got it in all. Okay, so yeah, really might be that there is no NVIDIA Ethernet driver in Fedora 27. Maybe it's proprietary and they're not releasing the code. Although they're really good about, they're the best on their GPUs about releasing their code for their GPUs, their video cards, chips. So that wouldn't, but maybe they don't sell as many Ethernet adapters, and they just haven't done it. That is everything NVIDIA. Well, but the problem is this is a very poor search. Guess I could try. That wouldn't help. I started to say I could try that. If I could, I'd have to go find it. But that list group and do NVIDIA. Search for NVIDIA, but group install in the terminal. But I'm not good enough at that to do that anyway. I mean, I could do that, but I don't know. I wouldn't expect to find anything really that way. Not in the groups. Now, there's a way to search for like, you know, DNF. What is it? DNF list. Okay, let's do that one time. I'm getting better. I'm starting to remember some of these commands a little more. Let's see. DNF list NVIDIA. Let's see if that's it. There's probably something. It's doing something. Oh, it's looking for updates, I think. I said DNF space list space NVIDIA. But it's actually looks like it's downloading something instead of just giving me a list of what's available. Well, I won't interrupt it. Maybe I don't know. I'm thinking that card that I put in there is working painfully slow. Why would it do that? While that's doing that, let's look at the information. Okay. It says speed unknown. It doesn't say 100 megabits. Maybe it's working on a driver that just barely works. It says driver tulip, but it works. That's weird. But I would say it's going so slow that it's working under 10 megabits. Because I've seen my internet, when I was out in the garage, I've seen how slow things go out there when my Wi-Fi wasn't working right. My router was the one I had out there, my ZoneNet was dying. And it was getting down to like 1.5 megabits. And then it would quit altogether sometimes. And this is about how slow it was going. So 10 megabits would even be faster than this. Because I went ahead and put my Linksys is actually acting up, and it's probably going to die too. It's got one port that doesn't work anymore. But it'll run around 15 megabits, and it should be doing 50. It normally always did 54 megabits. It's 50 more megabits on the Wi-Fi and 100 on the wired. And as a matter of fact, I think even the wired wasn't doing what it was supposed to either, if I remember right. But that's why I quit using it in here. For the longest time, I'd have to reboot it. I got to where I had to reboot it every day, and then I finally started testing around on it, and I realized that thing is flat not working. I think looks like what I'm doing is actually showing there, but it's not playing. Maybe that's from a while ago. I don't know what I may not have switched. I may be showing my desktop of my other machine. I'm just tired tonight and not really all that with it. But I want to get all this done. Let's see. I'll reload my. Yeah, okay. That was just the last time I was in the terminal that I happened to look at it. It is working, isn't it? I'm in the right place. Yeah, I'm in the right place at least. I'm showing you what I'm talking about. It's almost there, but it says updates. 97%, 98%, 99%, 120 kilobytes. Yeah, there's something wrong. This is like dial-up modem speeds here. I mean, just 120 kilobytes took that long to download? And normally when you do when you just do a list, you know, list what's available type of thing, I probably typed the wrong command. I don't know what I'm telling it to do, to be honest. DNF list NVIDIA. I think that should. Sometimes you have to put a slash in front of stuff when you know, when you want to do certain things, and I can't even remember all that. That's why I don't try to do anything too fancy or anything very but the basics in the command line, unless I have the commands to copy and paste it there. But sometimes I get like this and I think, oh, I can remember that and try it. Well, normally it doesn't take forever to find out whether or not it's going to work. But I've never, I don't know what I did, because I've never seen, unless I type DNF install, you know, I've never seen it start showing that it's downloading bytes, you know, kilobytes actually in here, or whatever, megabytes, kilobytes. But let's see, that first one was, oh, okay, 23 megabytes, 120 kilobytes, 23 megabytes. Now it's 40%, 193 kilobytes, I guess, of 24 megabytes. Okay, but still, on a 60 megabit internet connection, and it's taking that long. Now the whole readout changed. And I don't know why it says updates up there. Usually it only says updates when it's doing updates, you know. So I don't want to interrupt it. Well, I mean, the only way I could is to, I mean, if it really is installing something, I don't want to break. Well, this is a live system. I keep thinking I'm on a real system. This is live. But I am curious as to what's going to happen now. I'm not curious enough to wait for 700 megabytes at this rate, but it's not saying it's going to download 700 megabytes. It's just showing. Those updates could be for the KRFB that I just installed a while ago. It's possible. When it says updates. But it said that a minute ago and it didn't update the whole system. Well, I was really hoping that my processor and memory was not causing me any trouble, you know, with my Ethernet and everything, but maybe it really is. Maybe it's causing trouble overall, you know, with the Ethernet. Everything else so far, I mean, it seems great. But, oh yeah, I just remembered I did not see anything to do with NVIDIA installed, period. Well, the reason, but I wasn't sure that I was seeing everything because of the way that DNF works. That's why I got in the terminal thinking maybe I could double check if I was seeing everything. So, oh, 120 kilobytes a second, 23 megabytes. Now I'm understanding what my eyes are blurry, I'm tired, I'm just not doing well, am I? 101 kilo, okay, that's telling you the speed, and it's, what it's going to bring in is 39 megabytes. Maybe there's 39 megabytes worth of just text coming in when you list everything to do with NVIDIA. I mean, there's going to be a lot to do with NVIDIA. But still, it shouldn't be that slow. It's just, it didn't seem quite that slow in the Gregora. It aggravates me because I don't like the way it works, but... Okay, let's see. It's getting hotter in here now. I had to move my fan from where I usually put it because it was actually blowing. It was blowing on the 10-inch tablet and making, and as flimsy as that music stand I have it on is, it was shaking. It was just sitting there fluttering, fluttering in the breeze. And I can feel a lot hotter now than I did a while ago. Well, it's 79.2 degrees, that's why. Well, that's because I have this 8-core machine running along with the laptop, my machine, and my server. I knew it was going to make a lot of heat. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to let it do that, and I'm going to go back over to my machine and oh, I'm on remote desktop. I don't have to switch. I knew that. I did. I knew that. I just forgot for a minute. Now, how do I get out of this? There we go. But still, just because I'm doing remote desktop, it shouldn't be... You think that's what's slowing down? It's work. I'll kill the remote desktop connection for a little bit. Maybe it'll go faster. Maybe that's doing it. But I just don't think it would bring it down that slow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to the mic I like now. Well, then I'll start deciding. Okay, now I could have been on it this whole time. I didn't switch like I usually do because I figured I'd have to get up again and then I'd be off on the other machine and have to switch back and all that stuff. Okay, on desktop still. And I'm going to get the browser open again. I didn't remember I had that open. I might have been using up resources. Maybe, I guess it wasn't doing bad. All right, let's see. Actually don't know what I'm going to look at in the browser. Let's see. Ethernet not working. Fedora 27. Maybe it's a common problem. Okay, that says Realtek. Well, I know I don't have Realtek. Let's make that ASRock. Maybe those model numbers aren't. They may be used on other things. It's still coming up with Realtek. Huh. NVIDIA GeForce installation. GeForce, that's I'll go here because it's the top result, but I don't think it's. Copy that in case I need it. Built-in Realtek. Well, it said NVIDIA on mine. Where did I see that? I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw it somewhere. Oh, huh. GS. That's what I have. Let's see. Mint and Fedora. Now you've been to overlooking something. That's 2013 though. It's still possible that Fedora has just really never supported it. Now this is Fedora.
when is when is all this? 2016. Okay. Mobile adapter. Okay. Well, I don't want to muck around anymore in the command line, that's for sure. I'm already. Let's go see if that thing's finished. Oh, it's finished. Okay. No matching packages to list. All that time just to list packages? So I guess I typed the right command. It just took forever to search it out. That's weird. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, since I can do it right here, I'm going to shut it down. Let's see. No, don't do that yet, because I might want to be in it again. Come on up there. Okay, leave it like it is for now. Well, I'll close the connection so that won't be using up network. Okay. Fedora's only mentioned once. In here, in this one. Seems like the same post on different places. This is on Ubuntu and this is on Fedora, but it's the same. Saying hi folks, blah blah blah. Okay. OpenSUSE. Now that, no, OpenSUSE is not the same as Fedora. No network, no switch off. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay. It says NVIDIA GeForce installation guide, but it's also at Samuel Gassaman. It's not on NVIDIA's website, so I don't. Or ASRock's website, either one. There's the board. Okay. Yeah, there's not much under that strict of search results, but I wanted to be that close to what I'm looking for. You know, exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna go ahead and. What'd you do? Let's see. I had that in my select all, copy. Well, let's just put it in my folder for NVIDIA stuff, I guess. Might be better. I don't think this is really something I need that much, though. I started to make a whole new folder for just that search results, but look at that one. Linux questions. That doesn't act like it wants to come in. You don't suppose that I'm actually having Maybe I'm actually having internet problems. The page came up quick. Oh, that page is bad, I think. Well, let's just do a speed test. Let's see. Nope, it's all good. I mean, I haven't noticed any trouble with my stream, so I wouldn't expect to be having trouble with that, with my internet. See, I've got 65 megabits while I'm streaming, so I don't think I got any problem there. And my upload speed is pretty good considering I'm streaming. It would be about what I would expect. So yeah, we're okay there. Okay, so yeah, that is something on that machine. Okay. So I guess really what I ought to do is go ahead and get the I'll go ahead and get that BIOS written down. I'm gonna go ahead and reboot it. So let me get. I've got this tablet. I can show. You know, all set up. I can show it. Let me switch over there. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and go back to the wireless mic. So that if I need to move around, I can.
And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Get my Ethernet switch over there. I mean my KVM switch. Get into the BIOS and we'll see what the BIOS version is. I'm going to keep on and on hitting it. It won't beep at me. Which way did I turn that speaker? I can't see it. Let me get up and look at it. Yeah, I see it. Version V02. We'll look at it in a minute. Yeah, the little speaker is turned the opposite of the way I really thought it should go. I don't know that it matters, though. Like I've said before about speakers, I don't think it actually matters when you just got one speaker, because there's no polarity issues in mono, just in stereo and up. Okay, so let me write that down. I started to say, I wish I could get a screenshot. Well, I do have a video. Darn it. Okay. ASRock, if I could write. BIOS. I was put today's date. Oh, what is today? Dang it. Oh, I bet I can look on the laptop and see. 24/04/24. Let's see. V02.67C. V02.67C, and that's all there is to it. So I'll get back over there and see what I downloaded. See if it's newer. I guess it will be. Let's go through here a little bit while we're here. Yeah, there's nothing else in there to... I've gone through this a lot, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired, I guess I'm going to have to quit pretty soon. I don't know why I'm so tired, but I really am. Well, I mean, it's not exactly early. It's... Every time I move my mouse, I put it right up. It is... Well, it's 9:50. It's only about 10 o'clock, and I only got up at noon, so I really shouldn't be so tired by now, but there's nothing wrong with going in and getting tired and going to bed earlier. Okay, I just can't see what I'm looking at. So, I went over this a lot last night. There's the InstaFlash I was talking about. Supported device, USB, floppy, hard drive, supported file system, FAT12, 16, and 32. So I will have to use a USB with FAT32 and write that file on it. Execute InstaFlash. No, I won't do it now since I don't have that ready. And I don't even know for sure if I still want to do that. Oh, the temperature, I was wondering about that. Okay, so it's doing good. Well, the door's open, and no, the other fan's not on it, but the door's open. So with the door open, it's 129 degrees. The target temperature, 129 degrees. That's what I set yesterday, and it is 129 degrees. It was running like 132. Well, now it's 131. I guess it's changing back and forth. And the motherboard's 104. So with the door on it, I imagine it'll run 132, 135. If it gets to working hard, it'll probably go up some. But I probably will leave all the overclocking stuff on automatic. I don't know how to do it. I've never really got down and learned how to overclock. And even in here with the pretty simple setup, you still need to have some idea what you're doing and what to aim for. It's not going to be needed, you know. I mean, going from a dual core with 2 gig of RAM to a 8 core with 8 gig of RAM, that's all the improvement that mom needs. So, and I want it to run good and be dependable and be powerful too. But so yeah, it's still seeing the USB. I haven't taken that USB out in a while, so it's just showing up. Okay, so I don't want to save any changes. I didn't do any that I want to save. So I guess I'll get back in that. Actually, I wouldn't mind. I want to see if the Ethernet works in the installed operating system, the Ethernet card that I put in there. So I think I will shut it down and take that out. If I can reach it. Okay. It could be that, like, you know, you could run a system update and it would put a better driver or the updated driver or whatever on there and it would work better. I still don't like the idea of, you know, like just having to leave that in there and not knowing what's going on or what's wrong, because it could just be a driver, missing driver. Could just be that, like for instance, my Dell laptop, the Wi-Fi, I don't think I've ever got that working because I just didn't want to fool with it. But the Bane, Fedora it had Fedora on it, and for every version of Fedora I had on it just found it and worked. But the Bane didn't, and I never have tried to fix it. I don't think I have. I know I'm using the wired. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even see the Wi-Fi. It doesn't even list it. So now it's booting up to the Fedora 27 that I installed on Mom's dual core setup. But this is the 8 core. Yeah, I could be worrying about BIOS and everything else under the sun when it's really just that Fedora doesn't have a driver for it. So I need to explore every option. Okay, there's a VLMUD boot image, yeah. But it has Ethernet. It's working. And it's still, I've seen that before though, like unknown speed, and it still be things still be working fine. But same IP address, which I would expect, because it's the same Ethernet card and everything, just different operating system. But yeah, so that's all fine. I don't know, maybe there's something going on with the Fedora repos that they're really slow, because let's see if it seems slow opening up. I'll do a speed test. I didn't think about that. It's not coming in super fast, but there it came. It's not super slow either. Got her 2 home pages. I think it's speedtest.net. Yeah, that's the one I actually don't like this one as much as I used to. I found some others, and there's some enough difference to merit using some of the others to find out what's going on. All right, there we go. It's slow. This is on my same router that I'm on, that I'm streaming from, but it's only about 5 megabits. The download speed may be, yeah, or upload speed. That's it. That was the download. Now this is the upload. Okay, so that Ethernet card is working really slow. Huh. Okay. So I guess giving it even more to do by connecting to it on remote desktop is what dropped it down to that point that, you know, it just didn't want to work at all. Let's see. What does this machine have on it? I have KRFB on it. I don't want to use it now that I realize what's going on. Yeah, it just says DNF Dragora. If I went into the updater, with it going that slow, it would take forever to do anything though. But it could be what would fix everything too. I'd still plan on, you know, completely newly installing. Maybe that would fix everything if I would just, you know, newly install. Well, I don't usually see, the thing is, network cards, you know, network adapters, network chips, what do you want to call them, they're usually on the Fedora live images, you know, they usually work right there. It's taking a long time just to open up. DNF client error. It could be because of that crash, you know, that kernel crash. I kind of don't want to do. DNF list updates. Let's see. But it's going a lot faster than it was before, at least. Well, I guess I had down to nearly nothing. I was running that remote desktop. That's what since I already had 5 megabits. I mean, evidently that's all that card can do, because I just tested my Ethernet, and I'm getting 65 megabits down, and what was it, about 4 up while I'm streaming. And so on this card, on this machine, on my same D-Link router, I'm getting what was it, 5 megabits down, and I'm using a cable that should be fine. It's should be good. It's a Cat5e cable. I specifically rerouted things so that I could use that cable on this motherboard, because it's got the gigabit. It's got, you know, well, of course now I'm on that 100 megabit Ethernet card, but there's 184 updates available. Oh, the GUI app, now it's decided to pop up and tell me the updates. So it probably just was time for it to do it. You know, I guess it waits after you've booted up for a little while and then does it. But now I'm, it's still looking for all the updates. That happened way faster than this did. The command line usually works faster in this sort of thing. Because you don't have to wait on the GUI to do its work, you know. I don't want them fighting each other, so can I get out of there? If I hit, it doesn't make it quit. I'm going to go ahead and just close the terminal. It should be fine. Because I want to see what the open that GUI app so I can see. I don't know that I want to start running them though. But to update. Okay, here we go, yeah. Network manager. Oh. Something to do with network. Mate. I wonder if, let's see if there's going to be a kernel update. These are just normal. Well, the network manager might have something to do with the cups. That's network printing. ETH tool, okay. Ethernet settings. I don't remember if it said how much the total is. Kernel. Extra kernel modules to match the kernel. Well, that could fix problems. It could fix all problems. I think I might do it because I'd like to see what would happen. Mate desktop updates, a whole bunch of them. What I always wondered is if you put, when you put new hardware in your machine and you're running Linux and Linux is already installed, will it see that new hardware and download the firmware or drivers or whatever for it? There used to be a lot of, anytime you read about, look for drivers for Linux, first thing it would tell you on a site where you were going to download them, say if you were going to download them. Linux does not use drivers. It uses, I guess what it said was firmware. That's what they say. The other day I saw it and it said that and it said firmware, but I'm thinking there was another word they used, another way to describe it, but they kind of quit saying that and they just started calling it drivers because that's what everybody's used to with Windows. But anyway, I think I will do it. Where is it? You have to go somewhere else? Oh, check all. Okay, now apply. Now, what are we going to get? Kernel core, kernel modules. That just might fix everything. It's possible. So let's just do it. Oh, it's going to remove some other kernels. x86, 64. Oh, 323 megabytes. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I'm not interested in just every little app that's being downloaded, but I want a screenshot of the basics there of what's going on. Oh, I've forgotten the root password. Have to find it. I think I'm getting hungry again too. That would make sense that I would be hungry about now for supper. Oh yeah, I still haven't went and checked to see the, well, while this is downloading, I'll go over there and look on my machine and what it is I downloaded as far as BIOS updates. Okay, now it's doing it. I think I will get off of that spot though, so that I can't accidentally click on it and screw it up.
That's one good thing about having extra desktops. All right, now we're on our camera, so we'll get back over here. We'll want to switch back to the desktop. Okay. And my chair somehow inched up so that I was too close to the mic when I was fixing this.
Back to the SM58. Okay. Let's see what I downloaded. Get over here, get over here. Yeah, I've got quite a few videos today. Most of them are test videos. I had to keep retesting because I had, okay, here it is. Now, well, it says N68C-FX104 ROM. Yeah, that's not going to tell me much of anything. And this is going to be, I guess that's code. I'm going to say binary code, but I don't always get all that right. Yeah. Thought sometimes when you open up a file like that in a text viewer, you can actually see, like, you know, the version number or something, but I didn't see anything. So, see if it's probably on that page where I downloaded it. Well, I'm going to try it since it's been a while since I was on that page. I'm going to open up the HTML file that I downloaded and see if there'll be links that'll work in it to get me back to where I started. I think maybe it doesn't have any links on it. Once in a while you get a page with 0 links. There's no backlinks, no nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to use my links. I have to get in there and get in my, can't even say the right words. Oh, I'm choking now. Okay. Version 1.40. Now, how are you supposed to tell what BIOS version it's going to be? Doesn't tell you. They tell you to follow the instructions, and it tells you to make sure you check your BIOS version, but it doesn't tell you how you're going to know what BIOS version that file is giving you. It's that utility when you get into it on the floppy utility. This is the one that'll do it. Well, actually, it'll do it from, I guess it'll do it from a floppy or a USB drive. Okay, well, I guess I will figure that out tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, I got those downloads going, updates going. And I may go ahead and do that because, well, first I'll see how. First, I'll wait until all those updates might fix all my woes. If they do, I won't do this. But if they don't, I guess this is what I'll do next. Because being that, you know, I've got the newest. I've actually got a processor newer than what was made at the time this board was manufactured. If I just flat couldn't get that onboard NIC to work, I could just disable it and use the one. Well, not this one, unless it starts working right, unless it gets a driver that makes it work right. And I might have another Realtek down there in my box. I'm not sure. I didn't go through everything in there. I do remember I had 3 good ones, and then started having trouble with them because I tried to put 2 or 3 in my IBM server because I wanted to use it as a server and a basically a router. You know, use it as a, what do they call it? Utility, something utility. Anyway, web appliance. Well, no. Anyway, I thought what I was going to do is, you know, have this signal coming in from the modem, and then 2 more cards to go out to 2 routers, and then split off from there. And it worked. I got it working, but the problem was it kept switching which one it set as the input one, you know, and so I would, when you'd reboot the machine, which will happen automatically when the power goes out, you know, if the power goes off and then when it comes back on, the machine will boot back up and everything's back online. But with that set up that way, it was not dependable. You never knew what you were going to get as the, I'll just say the in and the out, you know. But, and you did it with network bridging and stuff. It was really pretty simple. It was, you can do it all within the network settings in Fedora. You just right-click on the network and edit connections like I was showing a while ago. See, I've got a bridge. There's a bridge. I think they started doing that. There's a network bridge in here. I didn't do that, I don't think. I think it was already there. But just set up a network bridge. And anyway, with it swapping around, and I didn't know how to, I never could figure out how to. I had I had 2 problems. I finally found out once I bought this new router, this D-Link router, my TP-Link, which I had bought new around that time, it would let you happily set up, you know, a port 80 or whatever port, a web server, but it would not work. So I had to use my old Linksys router. Put the IBM on the Linksys router is the only way I could keep my web server going to the internet and working with the internet. So I would, but I didn't want it to be the one facing the internet. So I forwarded a port through the TP-Link to the Linksys, the port 80. It's the only port I wanted open, and then because I wanted all my other machines to have the fastest router connected to the modem, you know, and so I had it that way for years, and I just thought it was something funky about the onboard NIC on the IBM machine. And like I said, when I put another card in it, I had all kinds of trouble with it always. If I remember right, it didn't just always pick one or the other. It would switch which one it picked, because I could have just left a card in there, you know, just figured out which one it was going to pick and left it. But anyway, I think all those problems were actually, well, 2 sets of problems. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about other things. Yeah, let those updates finish, and I will. And then if I still have problems, then I will see if I want to try to update the BIOS. But I don't know on other machines when I have updated the BIOS or went in to try to do it or whatever, they tell you that you darn sure you don't try to. You know what? I just realized something. That little, I think that thing does that for you, doesn't it? Normally you had to manually do that yourself, but I just realized. Just, okay, save the BIOS and put it on the FAT32 drive. Select it, and that's where I was at. I saw that just a while ago. Okay, execute it. ASRock will flash. InstaFlash will automatically detect all devices and only list the BIOS versions which are suitable for your. Okay, so this is going to automatically figure this out for you. You don't have to know. Okay, so I'll be safe. You don't have to know for 100% sure that you got the right version, because you could break it if you. And a lot of the other that didn't have this kind of utility, it tells you, you check and you triple check and make sure you got the right BIOS version, because if you try to write an older one on there or the wrong one, like there was different ones, for exact machines, and stuff. If you got the wrong one, you'd break it, break your motherboard. So automatically detect the exact BIOS files from all devices, such as USB hard drive or floppy. Only list files which apply to your motherboard model. Oh, okay. 1, 2. Select suitable BIOS version and flash. And so even when I'm in the BIOS there, that version number will be at the bottom. So if it looks older, then I won't do it. Or if it's the same, I won't do it. Okay, so I'll be safe, I think. And then this other one here, that's if you do it. Okay, you need a FAT32 hard disk, USB disk, hard disk, and a floppy drive. Oh, okay, so you have the file on your disk and then also need a floppy drive. Oh, you boot to this floppy, this utility here. Okay. But I don't have a floppy on the machine, so I wouldn't be doing that. Okay, now I get it. Just being tired, that's all. Okay. So yeah, if I end up doing that, I will I'll go back through there and double check again, but yeah, okay. That's a dogwood flower, isn't it? I was trying to remember. I saw this one earlier today. I have my my desktop switch automatically. Let's see. Let's go back to our machine and see what the updates are doing. You gotta. Well, I had it installing them, but you still got to. Actually, it may do it and shut and close the little window all by itself. Gosh, I can't hit the. I don't know why it's usually harder with this big long stick than it is with the short pencil. I know one thing, I'm sitting back here and I'm more comfortable, but like when I'm on the mic here, I have to move it in order to. Come on, there we go. It took me forever there just to hit the right spot. Okay. No, it's 61%. It's not doing so horribly bad. I mean, obviously it would be way faster if it, was getting 60 megabits instead of 5. But this may be worth it. This might fix all my problems here. Because we're going to have several. We've got network manager updates. We've got kernel updates. Bluetooth. Sure is moving slow. Working it hard. As fast as this machine should be, I can't really imagine it having trouble doing anything. It probably because it doesn't have the right kernel. It's probably not using the cores right at all. It's probably not doing anything right. because I did have a kernel crash, you know, every time I booted. Even had it on the live system. So I still won't count this as done for sure. I'm still gonna install a fresh. I could be just spinning my wheels trying to fix something that will be automatically fixed when I do my new install. That's a possibility. Well, what I was thinking was, well, I can't even do my install without network. I really don't want to be using this card that only gets 5 megabits because it's got a... How much stuff gets downloaded when you install from the live system? I don't think it is actually a lot. Yeah, with Fedora, let's see, with the Bane, it's most everything. But with Fedora, I think the live system has pretty much everything you need to install. And then, of course, the first thing you want to do is update. So you got to have networking to get it working right. You just have to. But what I'm thinking is, now I don't know that Realtek card that wouldn't work. Maybe the card is fine. It's just that Fedora 20, it's old. I know that it's fairly old. Well, I don't think it's as old as this one I've got working right now. But I don't know if there's something wrong with it, or if it just doesn't want to work on Fedora 27. And if I have any more, they may all be in machines being used. I'll have to dig through my box. If this doesn't get faster, this card that I have in here now, if it doesn't get faster after the updates, then I'll have to look and see if I have another Realtek that might, you know, work better. But I think the ones I had, at least 2 that were identical chips, and another one that was like a 8139, that different version, you know. I think it's 8139, something like that. But yeah, it's at 73%. I think it was at that when I first came back on here. It's just slowly moving along. So I think what I should do, I'm getting pretty hungry and I'm tired. So I think what I should do is, there's no point, you know, in just lingering on here to wait for this update to finish. Oh, it went to 75% now. Can let it finish while I'm, you know, getting my food and stuff and eat and all that junk. And tomorrow I'll come back and just show what the results are, you know, when I feel better and rested. Get back when I get back to work on it. And yeah, seems like the best thing to do. So switching over to my machine. That, and drainage is getting worse again, and I'm just going to be making a bunch of bad noise here. Well, OBS is not using a lot of memory, but it was using 51% of CPU for a minute there. I think it does that when you switch. So the old machine, the temperature wise, it seems like it's going to be fine. Of course, I don't have the door on it right now, but that part seems fine. The old new machine, that motherboard, I bought it new, and I think it was new, but it's actually several years old now. So it's kind of a mix. Old box, old motherboard, and new processor and memory. What else is new? I'm using my mouse to look at the preview because you can't see what I'm doing there, can you? Well, new hard drive. Yeah, the old hard drive's still in it, but it won't stay in it. Okay. Oh, and the old DVD drive, yeah. Of course, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, they got no miles on them. Mom never ever used a DVD drive. But it's not very loud. And I got the door open, and it's not loud and bothering me. I mean, it's not loud at all. With that messed up fan, it was driving me insane, but now it doesn't bother me in the least. It's actually quieter. Just now realized it's quieter laying down like that than it was. When it's standing up, there's a vent on this. Well, there's vents on both sides, but there's a fan on one side, and the side facing me was just the vents. And I was hearing more yesterday with it standing up than I am today with it laying down. I think it'll be okay. I just got to work through this Ethernet problem, whatever it is. Hopefully the updates will fix it for me, and I'll know if it fixes it in her, you know, this system that's already on there. Then when I reinstall completely new, you know, it'll automatically recognize all the hardware, and it may even automatically find the right driver for the ASRock's Ethernet. I could have been right from day one there. It could be that it's flat just an Ethernet adapter driver issue, and it's not that it's just flat doesn't have the driver on it, you know. And maybe, like I said, I'm not quite sure about whether they. I mean, when you switch motherboards, I've put, you know, Fedora, different versions of Fedora 12 and 14, I think, in the hard drive in other machines, and it'll run, but there's issues, you know. So basically, this is the same thing. I put new parts that are radically different in there. So yeah, I think the new install might actually be the thing. Yeah. Whether this update straightens it all out or not, the new install would still be what would tell me. Let's see. One more time before I go, I'm going to switch over there. I can't see what it's doing unless I switch my KVM switch. So I'll just go ahead and let you look with me. Uh, 94%. It's so close to being done now. I hate to go. Of course, you'd have to reboot. Oh, it's nicely 80.2 degrees in here now. You know, when it gets set, well, not 79, 80 degrees and more in here, I always have a lot more trouble with my allergies, with drainage and stuff. Actually, there's enough cool air outside coming in through the window that I don't feel so bad. I'm not normally at 80 degrees. I feel horrible, you know. I think where my thermometer setting is, I mean, it's not near. It is close to the server, but you know, there's no fans blowing forward. They're all blowing back. So, but it may get a little bit more heat right there than I get. Doesn't feel hot over there. I mean, it's not like I feel any hot pocket over there or anything. It's about getting ready to be done, I think. It's 98% now. It seems like it's kind of speeding up its progress. I figured it'd be another 20, 30 minutes. That's why I was thinking I might as well go. I'd sit there talking about what I was going to do long enough for it to just about get done. Now it's 99%. Might as well let it finish. I guess I'll let it finish and reboot it once before I go. Unless it sits there forever at 99% or something. 183 of 184. It's just downloading the packages. Applying changes. Now, as fast as that processor is, that shouldn't be any chore for it. It's 9 at 367, 10, 11, 12. It's going pretty fast, I guess. I think it might be going faster than all my other machines do as far as doing installs. Or is that wishful thinking? I've sat here and watched, you know, installs before. Especially when they started. I was like, why is it taking so long, you know? Seems to be going pretty fast. It's up to 30 now. But yeah, that's sometimes a slower portion. The downloads, usually when you have your normal 60 megabit internet working, that's usually faster than the install portion of updates. It's 40, almost 50 now, 47. Yeah, I always forget a lot of times when I'm reading the progress, I forget that, yeah, that's just the downloads. Then you've got the install portion of it. Kind of, I guess it depends on how big the little apps are as to how long it takes to do it. Pretty fast, though, I would say. It's at 87, 23%. Like to see what it's going to do. I mean, I would like to, if I'm going to sit here and watch it, I would like, might as well show it, is what I'm thinking. I mean, I can let it do it and then check on it after, go in there and start getting my food. Of course, I can see right now that it'll be done within a minute or so, too. Yeah, it's 137 of them now. Doesn't look like it's going to take all that long. I hate sitting there waiting. I always, when I'm on my computers, that's one reason why I bought a KVM switch years ago. I used to work on 2 or 3 computers at once. I used to think well enough to do that. And I would just, when one was doing something and I had to wait on it, I'd flip over to the other one. And sometimes I'd have all 4, something going on all 4 of them. Not real often, because that 2 I could handle, used to could handle pretty good what's going on 2 different computers. And I'd be installing stuff or doing this or doing that or whatever, Maybe I'd be working on one, setting it up, and then, I don't know, editing a video on another one or something, or something. But I'd do good to do what I'm doing right now anymore. I guess I am sort of working on more than one computer still, but as you may be able to tell, I get confused pretty easy. But yeah, very seldom I can really get in that groove where I could be actually having projects going on 2 or 3 different computers at once. 73%, 274.5. It's going fast. Yeah, it's not. It's okay. No, I think that. I'm seeing some evidence of the faster processor here with these installs, because I don't really remember seeing that many installs go that fast. I don't sit and watch them very often, but I know lately I've been noticing how slow they were going. I'd be like, it's what I said, well, heck, it took twice as long to install them than it did to download them, And I was thinking, I need to get a new machine. Of course, I still won't have a new one. This is for Mom, but that's all right. One of these days, maybe I'll get that. Actually, I would get a server right now if I had a way to. If I had a way to. I don't have any place to put it. I can't just put it in here in the room with me. It's just too loud and too much heat. I just couldn't stand it. The heat, well, I can't stand the noise as much as I can't stand the heat, extra heat. One thing I like about this little Lenovo i5, it's doesn't put out hardly any heat. It doesn't put out, I can't hear it. It's so quiet I can't hear it over there in my rack. Now, if I was right next to it, I could hear it. Oh, 100%. It's fixing to be completely done. It says 100%, and it says applying changes to the system. Now watch that take forever. I don't sit and watch updates, as a rule. I go off and do something else, like I said. So I really don't know every little sequence of... now it's going through verifying, okay? But that's going really fast. I think it's done. Yeah, it is done. Yeah, it's done now. It still doesn't say anything different in the network deal there, but it's done. It just goes back to it and it's blank and there's no updates listed or anything, and there's not. It said, you know, you could say check all, but there's nothing to check, and you could say, but it is in the 2 update mode. So yeah, we're done. Okay, there is an SELinux warning there. See what that says. Systemd journal attempted to access, create on this netlink generic socket. Oh, really? Troubleshoot. That daggum net is still on my screen. I haven't tried to fool with it. Usually I can't. I'll go ahead and kill them. It's like the, you know, those little screensavers, a bug on the screen. Well, I've got a real one here walking around my screen. Why that thing likes my screen, why it's there, I don't know. Just walking around there. It was gone for a while, I guess, because if I'd have seen it. Yeah, I think this is a bug, and it's on my screen. You should report this as a bug. Well, I don't know about that. So, there's only one alert in the whole list. But SELinux stopped something, but I'm not going to worry about that as long as everything functions fine. All right, so what I want to do, though, is reboot. Let's see, we shouldn't have any kernel oops after it reboots. Oops. I moved my mic because I was thinking about trying to go after that bug. Then it got it out of its spot and it started falling. I'm sure I forgot that makes noise too. Sorry. That thing is starting to really drive me crazy though. I can't stop looking at it. I made it go away, but I bet it'll come back. Okay, I want to watch the boot up sequence. It's going pretty fast, so probably won't be able to, you know, unless something hangs up and gives an error. Just be patient here and kind of watch. Okay, network manager, yes. Okay, all that stuff. Now, okay, this is the part where I was getting the, right when it boots up is when I was getting the errors before. Okay, I have a SELinux alert. I want to see that. I guess it'll be that same thing again. It's like we got 2 of them. But we didn't have any kernel oops or anything, any kernel crashes. Okay, still an unknown speed on the Ethernet though. Usually when it says unknown, that usually means that there might be something wrong. Seems to me that I've noticed. Okay, troubleshoot. It keeps doing that at SELinux alert. System journaled should be allowed to create access on unknown netlink generic socket by default. Since this is actually, I can't roll, you know, it wouldn't matter if I did hurt the system. I think I'm going to do it. I kind of think it should because I just installed some, I think I installed something that said netlink up in the updates. I think this is actually something that I want to happen there. So I'm going to just put this terminal down here and do it. See, I can just copy the commands, whoops, and paste them in there. It tells you what to execute. Wait. It tells me to do that. But right here it tells me to do the exact same thing. Okay. No. That says C module X300. So what I'm wondering is, should I do this first or do that up there first? I'm going to do what it tells me to do first, I guess. I'm kind of wondering. You know what? I'm going to do this first. Usually just do what it says in here and you're good. I'm going to do this, and then if it says that again, or I can try that later, shouldn't matter what order I do it in. To make it active, maybe I should have gone ahead and done that. We'll see. There we go. That's done. Now I want to try this. Definitely want that policy to be active, or it did you no good. Overriding my stream journal module at lower priority module priority. I want to run that other command again. I don't know. It says overriding. Let's see if it does. I don't know what order I should have done that in. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Well, okay, I'm going to leave it alone now. I'm going to hit me a screenshot of that, and then select all, save that, and save it as a file. Thought I had got all that. Copy. There we go. This time I'm going to put all this information from in here so I'll know everything that I can. I guess I should say something about what it was about. Let's see. Netlink generic socket. Netlink generic socket. Yeah. That way I'll have some idea about what it was about. Excuse me. Okay, now, you know what? I think it really does seem very fast now. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't guess I was really paying a lot of attention before, but I can open fast. Things open up as fast as I can click on them, and that's awesome. And it definitely sees all the CPUs. Now, what it's using of them for what apps, I don't know. I'm sure not all apps even can use, 8 cores, but of course all that's going to be the same as it was before. Oh yeah, this one's not the one that you can search for processes and kill them or whatever. I think that's going to be the same alert, but let's look at it. That's the SELinux deal. Yeah, netlink socket. Probably have to reboot before it will stop doing it. And I've already done that, so I don't need to do it again. It says only one alert, though. Or maybe it only does 2 alerts when it's a different alert. All right, so I still don't have, it's not showing up, you know, the other network adapter. Wait, let's do it this way. Oh, yes, it is. It sees the other one. Yeah. Right there. I won't do. I don't think this one will. Yeah, it's too fast. It doesn't have a delay. I was trying to get a screenshot of it. Light on. Line links is fast Ethernet adapter. Well, that's the one that's being working, and this is the one that's not working. NVIDIA. So I could look for you know, that exact Ethernet adapter and see if I can get that fixed. I'm gonna do it now, but and I don't think I'll even. I started to say I need to reboot to see if that SELinux stops doing that, but that doesn't matter now. I'm too tired to really care, to be honest. There's my wired connection. Oh, I clicked on it and it says connection established. Well, it was already connected. I guess that's what that does. It does that again. Yeah, I don't think it'll quit till I reboot. All right, I'll reboot once just to see. Okay, now Firefox didn't open up that super fast. Yeah, it's the same thing again. It keeps doing it over and over. That one's something you got to do something about because it drives you nuts keeping doing it over and over like that. But I think the updates are trying to do something that they can't do because, and I don't know, it could have something to do with what I'm trying to fix even. That's one reason why I went ahead and did that. I might have jacked it up because now I'm not getting my network doesn't seem to be working. I think if I just reboot it, should be fine. Just see they're in the way of doing stuff. So let's reboot it. Sometimes I forget that I'm just using a camera and not remote desktop. I try to not do bad video any longer than I have to. Try to get right on remote desktop. But in this case, I really can't because of the slow Ethernet connection I have. But I'll go ahead and reboot it and see if it quits popping that alert up. Since I started it, make it be in the same video. The results, I mean, within, I really am going to quit. I mean it this time. Okay, ASRock BIOS. I've got so many little notes. Mom's PC here, recent notes. I think I'm going to stick them together with a. You know, sometimes you know the ones on the bottom will stick to some because I have stacks of notes there. The ones at the bottom will stick to. What's it doing? It's doing what it's been doing, taking forever to shut down the firewall. Really, this time I don't want to force shut it down because I want everything that needs to be, you know, if there's anything that's got to be held over to be installed on Reboot or, well, there's not usually things installing on shutdown. It's usually on Reboot, but if you hard shut down, it might lose that job, you know, that what it's supposed to be doing. So, but I've sat here and waited. Ever since I've got this thing running with the new stuff, I've waited for a couple of 3 minutes before, and it gets past the firewall shutting down. It finally shuts down, and then it goes through some more stuff, and then it says it's ready to shut down, but it doesn't shut down yet. It could be that it's been, well, no. This thing doesn't do it's not set up for automatic updates, so it wasn't installing any updates during the shutdown. And like I said, they usually always install. I can't remember updates ever installing during shutdown now. I believe they always install on, if they didn't, there's very few that don't just go ahead and install right then and there as you do it. Sometimes there's a few things, maybe an installation or a setting. There it goes. Now it says reached target shutdown. Some sort of setting that will be written to a etc file or whatever on the boot up, on the next boot up. Like, the SELinux alert, that I believe will be activated during the next boot up. That's why I was doing this. that I think I remember. But so far I've just been in a hurry, but it'll get right there and reach target shutdowns, and then I just been hard shutting it down because I didn't care about this system, because I wasn't planning on keeping it, and I didn't want to wait. I imagine it will shut down, but it isn't normal behavior for Fedora to just hang up so long during shutdown. Once in a while it'll do that, but I'm kind of looking through what it has done up here, what I can see. Stop firewall daemon. Well, I guess that's everything. Then that's the last thing I was waiting on, and then I can't read them all; they're too small. But everything looks normal. Of course, there's usually red where there's something, and it'll say failed if something failed. Usually you don't have, sometimes you do have things that failed to shut down. Usually it's always things that fail to start. Like my system, I installed an app called root partition auto resizer, and it always says failed to start on startup. And I kind of tried to fix it, but I never could get it to fix. Because I thought that'd be really cool because that's what happens with me as I go along using a system. I'll end up filling up my root partition, and that's where it is right now. I have to manually go clean it out every once in a while to keep it working, because I've got I can get it up to about 3 gigabytes of free space, and then if I do, like some things that you do, for instance, recording audio will just fill it up. The cache will fill it up. The temp files will fill it up. Well, I guess it is cache, but anyway, it'll fill up the temp directory and lock the machine up if you let it keep going. You usually get a warning, and I go, oh crap, and I stop what I'm doing. But like when I recorded the cassette tape, into the computer to digitize it, there it goes. It finally shut down for Jeff the other day. I had to do it. I did it on my old Pentium 4. It has plenty of space, and it's got a really good audio card in it. So it has a real audio. Well, I think they call it a daughter card. It's kind of mixed. It uses partial onboard and partial. It plugs into a header on the motherboard. It's not a PCI card. It's not like a Sound Blaster PCI card. But it is. It has optical inputs and outputs, and it has, which I don't use because I don't have any equipment to use it with. But all my stuff's analog. But it has. It'll do 5.1. I think it might even do. I know it'll do 5.1. It might do 7.1 audio if you had the optical sound, amplifiers to plug into it and everything. Receive inputs and output type thing. mostly you usually just do out, you know, like say if you're playing some audio or a video or something that had 7.1 or 5.1, and you use the optical out to a digital. Either you got to use a digital converter or use it to an analog system or a digital amplifier, input on your amplifier. Okay, so that's the first time I've waited and let it reboot like it should since I've got the new stuff in it. And that may be all it just needed to do that once and then it would be done, you know. And it's still doing that SELinux. I hate it when you do that. Go to that much trouble and then it still does it. And it's the exact same thing. I might have done it wrong. I might should have done it in the other order. I might should have followed the instructions in the screen. Sometimes you can copy it all and do it, but usually if there's two separate lines like that, you don't want to do them all together at once. But I did this time. I'll do it like that, and then I'll do what it says in there. I probably got it out of order and overwrote the last thing I did. I just thought of one thing. No, this is when you have more than one user on a system, which I usually don't do too often. The first user you put on there is the one that can do this sort of stuff, and the second one you can't do all this with getting root privileges, and there's some things you can do and some things you can't. So on that one system, that one that was the ASRock, the Fedora 26, I had to always pay attention because when I'd be in her mom's username and trying to do this stuff, it wouldn't work. So you know, it looks like it worked. Let's do a screenshot, and I want to make another. Since I had to do this again, make me another. Now, where's this? I don't have Crusader on here. Yeah, things just pop open. You know, when I first built my Pentium 4, it was that fast on XP. And I haven't had a system that worked this fast since back then that I can remember. You know what? It might have been that fast like on Fedora 5, 6, and 7, because that's when I was using that Pentium 4 back then. Actually, it might have been Fedora 5. I think that's what I started with. It was that fast. Okay. What am I looking for? There we go. So I'm just going to use that same title, but this time I'm going to say that it's the second try. I guess I could have just put all that into the same one, but same file, but maybe I should. Be less confusing, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Instead of making two separate files, I think I will understand what's going on more if I do it that way. Trying to get that and put it up at the top too. Now, there we go. That should be able to tell me what I did. Now, where's this other? This one, I'm going to say don't save. Yeah, man, those switches are fast. Now, I'm not going to worry about whether or not it took any more tonight. But hopefully it'll make it stop doing that. Just so that sometimes it's nice to, if you know you're going to redo a system anyway, you can experiment. And if you mess something up, it's okay because you're not going to keep it. Of course, the other thing that's not nice is you get all this figured out and then it's not going to be kept and you got to do it all again later. So, I want to try it. Okay, yeah, I want to see if I got any improvement on my Ethernet from those updates. I don't have my security SELinux. I don't have the SELinux crash. Wait, do I not even have Ethernet? Why would I not have Ethernet? Maybe it's fixed the other one and now it's trying to connect through it and it can't, because it's usually the onboard turns out to be the default. Could be. Let's see if it's okay, it's showing that it's connected to that one. Well, let's just disable and re-enable and see if it fixes it. Somehow I fixed it so much I broke it. There we go. Okay, that fixed it. All right. Okay. It's still only 5 megabits. And it's supposed to be a 100 megabit card. I mean, at the worst, it would be. I think I may have one with. I think I have an ISA Ethernet card that's 10 megabits. But I just can't quite. Well, can't quite fathom it. But maybe. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I've read some strange things. I remember, well, what I really read about, like when people it seems like when I was reading about, using these processors in general, or I guess, but I read about 2 different boards, the Asus and the ASRock. And I remember people saying they had trouble with their Wi-Fi not working and stuff, and then they had to go through pains to fix it. But this is wired, so. Oh yeah, I just heard thunder. It may rain tonight. Maybe getting ready to do it. Well, that's a good clue, a good cue. Let me shut this thing down completely. Let's see if it takes forever. Yeah, it's still going to take a minute to shut down the firewall. Okay, so this time I'm not going to sit and watch it. I'm going to go back to my machine. Start getting ready to just shut down. Well, I may, if it really starts thundering and everything, I'm going to shut down everything. And I need to shut off, all these cameras don't need to be running unless I'm doing video and all that. But, okay, so, I forgot. what it was I was fixing to. Oh, I want to double check my Ethernet, my internet speed. Now I'm back on my machine here on the desktop. Let's just make sure that this is not a problem with since we're on the same router. I just can't imagine. I mean, for all I know, that cable that I think is so good could be bad. What's raining? Uh-oh. Okay, so maybe I've been streaming so long the router's tired. Not working right. No, now it's back to normal. But the fact that I got that error, that usually means if you start getting an error, and of course I'm using wired to the internet. This thing's not Wi-Fi. But sometimes it'll get to the point that it, even the wired starts acting up. Sometimes my internet connection's just not working right. And it'll be erratic, but that was okay. I thought there was I guess to go just test again. Normally I always send this to myself so I can keep records of it, but I don't want to take the time to do that right now. Well, obviously we're way, way better. That could have just been an error on the web page, when it didn't work a second ago. Obviously it's way, way better than 5 megabits, so. And since I'm streaming, I would expect it to drop down some from the 4 or 5 megabits I usually get on my upload speed. Especially since I've been going a long time now. So, yeah, there's something really strange going on with the Ethernet. Even with that other card in there, it's doing that. And of course, the one that's on there, it may be that Fedora really doesn't. Well, it may not do that automatically unless you're doing a new install. I'm just kind of swimming in the dark here. So. But it runs good. Other than that, it runs fantastic, and it's not getting hot with the door open. I'll have to run it with the door shut. But we'll work on it again tomorrow and see. This is everything I've done here with this. Ever since I started, it's been nothing but one sidetracking problem after another. It's just crazy. But oh well. Keep going until I get it all done the way I want it. So I'm satisfied with it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. Like I've been saying, I'm going to do for probably an hour now. Come back tomorrow and see what else I can do. All right, bye-bye.